Many people feel sad when they don't get good results in life. Some say, "I can't do anything." Others choose a different path, not because they love it, but because their parents or society tell them to do so. But here is the question. If you do not listen to your inner voice, can you ever feel real success? Today's story will teach us that education is not just about passing exams. It is a way to understand yourself, and become who you truly are. People around you may talk about many success stories. You may think, if I follow that path, maybe I will succeed too. But real life is not that simple. Until you know your true interest, other people's stories will only feel like distant lights. Nice to look at, but far away. Let's try to understand what lesson today's story gives us. At the edge of a peaceful town, lived a young man named Sam. Life in that area was slow and quiet. Sam was active and cheerful, but for the past few days, he looked worried and stayed alone. That year, Sam finished his high school exams. But unlike his friends, he was not trying to get into any university. In fact, he did not want to study anymore. This was not because of money. His family had a large, 20-acre horse farm. They were one of the richest families in that area. But Sam could not understand his school lessons, and he was not interested in any subject. So, he decided to take a break, and use that time to understand himself better. One morning, while helping his father, Sam spoke about how he was feeling. His father, Mr. David, was a wise man. Even though he was middle-aged, he did not get angry. Instead, he smiled and said, "Sam, I have a small task for you. I want you to meet 3 people." Then he wrote down their names and addresses on a piece of paper. "Tell them that you are the son of the man with the golden leg. Ask them how they became successful. Their stories will help you find answers to your questions." Since Sam liked all kinds of work, except studying, he became interested in his father's task. He asked, "Dad, why do people call you the man with the golden leg?" His father smiled and said, "You will learn that from them. But remember, listen to them carefully. I believe that after this journey, you will understand what you want in life." First visit, Mr. Andres. Sam rode his horse to the first person on the list. His home was about 2 kilometers away. There, Sam met a strong old man. Mr. Andres, a successful athlete who had won many medals. When Sam said, "I'm the son of Mr. David, the man people call the one with the golden leg," Mr. Andres gave a warm smile. Old memories seemed to come alive in his eyes. Sam said he wanted to know how Mr. Andres became successful. The old man began his story. "I ranked 38th out of 40 students in our class. I was never a good student. The only thing I loved was sports, especially running. In the first year, I improved my training. In the second year, I learned from my mistakes. In the third year, I learned the best techniques. I didn't enjoy studying, so I just kept running. I ran every day for 5 years. After that, I won my first medal. Then I kept winning one race after another." Hearing this, Sam was very surprised. He understood something important. Success comes from getting better at something. It doesn't matter what it is. Second visit, Mr. Thomas. Sam went to visit his father's second friend, Mr. Thomas. He also remembered that he needed to ask about his father's nickname. This time, he arrived at a large modern house. He was surprised again. Mr. Thomas was the owner of his family's favorite restaurant. They used to go there often. After Sam introduced himself, Mr. Thomas welcomed him with joy. Sam asked, "Can you please tell me your success story?" Mr. Thomas laughed and said, "I was ranked 39th out of 40 in school. I used to talk a lot, but I didn't understand anything well. I only loved two things, eating and talking. Because I loved food, I started to enjoy cooking. I learned to cook by making the things I wanted to eat. One day, someone praised my cooking and said, 'You should start selling your food.' In the first year, I didn't make a profit. But my love for cooking helped me keep going. I learned better recipes, better ways to sell food, and how to attract more customers. After 5 years, I opened my first restaurant. And now, you can see, it has grown so big." Sam felt very inspired. He understood that you can be successful even without high grades. Mr. Thomas smiled and said, "To succeed, you only need one skill. Just keep doing what you love. One day, you will definitely succeed." Final visit, Mr. Miguel. Now Sam was on his way to the last house. He thought, maybe now I will meet the person who ranked 40th in school. But to his surprise, this man was the top student, ranked first in the class. However, his house was much simpler than the two big houses Sam had just seen. Sam knocked on the door, and a kind gentleman named Mr. Miguel welcomed him in. After introducing himself, Sam asked, "What is your secret to success?" Mr. Miguel smiled and said, "Yes, I did well in all subjects. My grades were always the best. But I never studied one thing deeply. I knew a little about many things. But I never became an expert at anything. That was my mistake. Don't make the same mistake I did." Hearing this, Sam became quiet. Then he asked about his father. Mr. Miguel smiled and said, "Your father David was ranked 40th, the last in our class. One day, he fell off a horse and broke his leg. He had to wrap it with a golden bandage. That's why people started calling him the man with the golden leg. But even after that injury, he never gave up his love for horses. He started with a small horse farm. And now, it has become a very big farm. Your father is a hard-working and focused man." After thanking Mr. Miguel, Sam rode back home, his heart full of motivation. Now he understood that he truly loved working with horses, just like his father. So he decided that he would also become a horse trainer. He also wanted to study more about animals and farming, so he could become more skilled in the future. Remember this. The key to your future is already inside you. No one can build your dream for you. If you do not understand yourself, if you do not follow your true passion, then even if you follow the crowd, you will never become your real self. If you understood this story today, then remember, this is your time. Find what you love. Learn it. Practice it. One day, the world will know you by your work. People who walk their own path often create new roads for others. So, why not you? Thank you, everyone. If you like this story, please share it with your friends. And let us know what you think in the comments. This story is for those who dream and move forward with courage. For anyone who thinks, maybe I can't do it, or, now is not the right time. If you want to improve your life and see your efforts pay off, this story is for you. In a small corner of the city, there was an old house. Inside lived Aisha with her parents and 2 younger sisters. Her family was ordinary, her mother took care of the home, and her father ran a small shop. Their financial situation was tight, but the house was full of love and care. From a young age, Aisha was different. While other children played, she read. While others watched TV, she wrote. There was a hidden determination in her, a determination that gave her the courage to dream and fight for those dreams. People often said, "Child, dreams are just dreams. Learn to be practical." But in her heart, Aisha felt, I will create my own world, whether people understand me or not. At school, Aisha was reserved. She often sat in the corner of the classroom, writing, sometimes pouring her thoughts into a diary. Her teachers saw potential in her, but her self-confidence was weak. Her classmates often underestimated her and laughed at small things. One day, the school announced the Young Writers Competition. For Aisha, it was the first chance to show her story to everyone. But she also felt fear. What if nobody likes my work? Her mother encouraged her, saying, if you don't start, you'll never know. Mistakes teach you, not fear. These words stayed in Aisha's heart. She decided to read her story on stage, no matter whether she won or lost. On stage, she hesitated at first. Her hands shook, and her voice was soft. But as she continued, her determination became stronger than her fear. Slowly, the audience started reacting positively, and she gained confidence. The competition ended. Aisha didn't win first place, but she won something more important, the hearts of everyone. That confidence and courage was her real victory. Returning home, she opened her diary and wrote, even in failure, I have won because I tried and faced my fear. Aisha decided to improve her skills every day. She started writing regularly, published articles, and participated in small competitions. Every failure became a lesson, helping her move forward. A few years later, Aisha became a successful writer. Her book was published, and people were inspired by her determination and hard work. Today, Aisha is not only a successful writer but also an inspiration for those who hesitate to pursue their dreams. Life can make stopping easy, but true courage is moving forward despite fear. Dreams are not just for seeing, they require hard work, dedication, and patience. Lesson: don't let fear block your growth. Treat failure as a lesson, not a reason to stop. Trust your courage and determination, and one day, you will create your own world. Hello everyone, welcome to Wordy Tales. Today, we'll share a story that can guide you through an important decision in life, when to start your own business. This is a crucial choice, and without proper planning, it can be risky. By this story, we'll find out what should be the proper planning to start a new business. But not only this, we will also learn some new words and how to make sentences with them. It's a perfect combination to learn important life lessons and English together. So stay with us till the end for an insightful journey. In a small bustling town, there lived a 30-year-old man named Liam, a hardworking man full of dreams. During the day, he worked as a salesperson in a company, and at night, he transformed into a corn dog seller at a local food market. All this was to provide for his wife and 2 children. Liam wanted to expand his business by introducing new menu items, but was constrained by limited time and physical and mental exhaustion. Recently, he faced a major dilemma. His demanding office job was causing him a lot of stress, and the thought of resigning to focus on his business started to take root. However, he feared that the income from his business might not be enough to support his family. One Sunday, using his day off, Liam decided to take his family on a trip to the countryside to visit his elderly parents. After enjoying some warm moments, he decided to take a walk around the village and met Mr. Robert. Mr. Robert, a local farmer, was once an office worker but now fully focused on his business, giving Liam great hope. Liam approached Mr. Robert and said, "Excuse me, Mr. Robert, do you have a moment to talk?" Mr. Robert, busy collecting chicken eggs, welcomed Liam warmly. Seeing Liam's gloomy face, Mr. Robert was curious, since Liam used to be a cheerful boy. Liam then shared everything with him, from his job struggles to his desire to resign and focus on his business. Understanding Liam's concerns, Mr. Robert began sharing insights to help him make the right decision. He said, "Liam, there are at least 7 things you must consider before leaving your job and focusing on your business. Your decision should be based on careful thought and thorough preparation." Liam listened intently, ensuring he didn't miss anything. Mr. Robert said, "The first and most important thing is to take small steps. A common mistake new entrepreneurs make is starting big without experience. It's like flying a plane without attending pilot school, the risk of failure is very high. For example, some build large chicken farms without ever raising a single chicken, stock hundreds of items without selling even one, or open a cafe with a massive investment without testing smaller sales first. Surely, you've seen businesses in the city fail within a year despite their grand beginnings." Liam nodded in agreement and asked, "So what should I do, Mr. Robert?" Mr. Robert replied, "For beginners, it's better to start small, like climbing stairs. Begin with a small investment to minimize risks. If you can sell 1, try selling 3. If you succeed with 3, aim for 10, and so on. As you progress, not only will your revenue grow, but so will your experience." This first piece of advice opened Liam's eyes. Grateful, he took a moment to absorb the lesson. Before Mr. Robert continued, the second thing you need to consider is your side business income. If your side business income already covers your family's needs, it's a good sign, but still risky. Businesses often have ups and downs, unlike stable salaries. A safe threshold for resigning is when your side business income reaches twice your family's needs. He added, "This cushion will provide enough financial security during the initial transition. If you decide to resign, utilize your time to develop your business further, open earlier, add new menu items, and ensure your income reaches a comfortable zone." Liam eagerly nodded, appreciating every word of wisdom. Curious, he asked for the next lesson. Mr. Robert smiled and said, "Wait a moment, Liam. Let me grab some coffee, because the next points will be even more interesting." After a short break, they sat under a shady tree near the farm. Mr. Robert continued, the third thing is an emergency savings fund. It's essential to have savings to cover at least 6 months of expenses as a precaution in case your business doesn't yield stable profits. Ideally, savings for a year would be even safer. This fund acts as a safety net, allowing you to focus on your business without worry. The fourth consideration is your ability to manage the business. It's not just about having great recipes, Liam. You also need to learn how to market effectively, set optimal hours, and more. You can learn from social media or others' experiences. Ensure you're prepared and not just trying your luck. Mr. Robert's light but insightful explanation was easy for Liam to grasp. He nodded repeatedly, signaling his understanding and readiness to hear more. While sipping the coffee Mr. Roberts served, they watched farm workers tending the livestock. Mr. Robert continued, the fifth point is determination. Starting a business requires strong resolve and perseverance. You must be ready to face challenges like fierce competition, fluctuating sales, and operational hurdles. The sixth is the stability of your side business. Ensure your business has been stable for at least the last 3 months, 6 months is even better. Stability demonstrates potential sustainability as a primary income source. Resigning before achieving stability can be very risky. Finally, Mr. Robert emphasized the last point, understanding the risks. Learn about your market, competition, and potential challenges. By understanding risks, you can develop strategies to minimize losses and maximize profits. So, Liam, are you ready to resign? Liam paused, then answered confidently, I'll carefully consider the 7 points you've explained, Mr. Robert. For now, I can't decide yet. Mr. Robert smiled, pleased with Liam's thoughtful response, knowing that he had truly absorbed the advice. That evening, Liam thanked Mr. Robert sincerely and promised to apply the lessons he'd learned. Today, we learned important life lessons from Liam's story. We also discovered how to make better decisions when considering a major change. Also, remember, learning English can be fun when you practice regularly. So keep listening, learning, and growing. Don't forget to like, comment, and share how this story inspired you. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next story, where we'll continue learning together. In a bright and bustling city, there lived a wise and respected teacher named Sir David. He was well known for his deep knowledge and ability to teach life-changing lessons in the simplest ways. His students admired him not only for his intellect, but also for his ability to make complex ideas easy to understand. One day, Sir David decided to teach his students an important lesson about life and stress. As the students settled into their seats, he picked up a glass of water and asked, "Can anyone tell me how much this glass weighs?" The students eagerly responded with different guesses. 200 grams, said one. 300 grams, added another. Maybe 350 grams, guessed a third student. Sir David smiled and said, "Great guesses, but the truth is, I don't actually know the exact weight of this glass." The students looked puzzled. If the weight wasn't the point, then what was? Sir David continued. "Now, if I hold this glass for 2 minutes, what will happen?" A few students responded together. "Nothing, sir." "That's right," Sir David nodded. But what if I hold it for 2 hours? One student hesitated before saying. Your hand will start hurting, and your muscles will feel strained. Sir David nodded. Good observation. Now what if I hold it for an entire day? A bright student quickly answered. Your hand will go numb. Your muscles will be under extreme stress, and you might even need to go to the hospital. Sir David chuckled. So tell me, has the weight of the glass changed? The students responded in unison. No. After a brief silence, Sir David looked around the classroom and asked his final question. So, what should I do to stop this pain? One student excitedly responded. Put the glass down, sir. Don't keep holding it. Exactly. Sir David exclaimed, his eyes shining with wisdom. Life's problems work the same way. If you think about a problem for a short time, it doesn't seem that big. But if you keep dwelling on it for hours, it starts to weigh heavily on your mind. And if you carry it with you all day, it will completely drain and exhaust you. The classroom fell silent as the students absorbed the powerful message. Some nodded in deep thought, while others exchanged glances, realizing how often they carried unnecessary burdens in their own lives. Sir David took a deep breath and continued. Just like the weight of the glass never changes. The weight of your problems won't lessen just by overthinking. Instead, you need to take action. Find solutions, talk to someone, or take a break. That's how you put the glass down. That's the only way to find true peace. With these words, Sir David placed the glass gently on the table, symbolizing the simple yet powerful choice we all have. The choice to let go. The students left that day with a new perspective. Understanding that some burdens in life are only heavy because we refuse to put them down. And just like Sir David's lesson, life reminds us every day that peace is not in holding on, but in letting go. So, remember, whenever your problems feel too heavy, don't carry them endlessly. Put the glass down and choose peace. Thank you for watching. Stay inspired. Stay strong. And always remember, your happiness lies in your own hands. Sometimes, we think we have to handle everything on our own. That asking for help is a sign of weakness. But have you ever thought that this stubbornness could actually be the biggest roadblock to your dreams? Today's story is about a young man named David, who tried to do everything alone to achieve his dreams. But along the way, he realized his limits. And more importantly, he learned that asking for help doesn't mean you failed. In fact, it's part of the journey to success. If you're curious, stick around till the end of the story. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by green fields and rocky roads, lived a young man named David. Most people in the village were farmers. Life there was peaceful, but full of challenges. David, 23 years old, worked as a carpenter. He had learned the craft from his late father. He owned a small shop in the village. But the roof was falling apart. Every day, David worked alone, building chairs, fixing old tables, and dealing with customers who always tried to bargain down his prices. After all the effort, he barely made enough to buy bread, soup, and firewood for the winter. But David wasn't satisfied with just getting by. In his free time, he'd sit by his small window and look out at the distant hills, dreaming. I'll have a big furniture store of my own. People will come from far away just to buy my furniture. Reality, though, was tough. Every time he tried to save money, some unexpected expense would show up. A leak in the roof, a broken tool, or a medical bill for his sick mom. Some villagers laughed at his dreams. One farmer even said, "David, you can't even afford good wood. And you're dreaming of a big store." Those words cut deep, but David never gave up on his dream. One day, an elderly man named Mr. Aziz visited David's shop. He was a traveling merchant, known for his wisdom. He asked David to build a large dining table, and gave him a week to do it. It was the biggest job David had ever gotten. And the pay was good, too. But halfway through, trouble started. On the third day, David ran out of wood. He went to the local wood supplier. But due to winter demand, the prices had doubled. He could only afford half the wood he needed. David thought, I can't ask Mr. Aziz for more money. He tried borrowing money from a man named Wed. But Wed just laughed and turned him down. David wondered, should I just sell my shop? Is chasing this dream just foolish? That night, he sat on an old bench, staring at the little money left on his table, wondering if he was being greedy. Then he remembered his mother's words. David, every big thing starts with a small step. Don't be afraid to start, no matter how hard it gets. The next day, with new motivation, David went to the city. He brought along a few small pieces of furniture. Some folding chairs he had made, to try selling them. It was a risky move. If he didn't sell them, he wouldn't even have enough money to get back home. He set up a tiny stall in a busy corner of the city market. At first, no one paid attention. But around noon, a wealthy lady came by, and was impressed with his work. She ended up buying all the chairs. With that money, David bought the wood he needed, and went back to the village. He finished the table right on time. Mr. Aziz was thrilled. You're a talented young man, he said. Never give up on your dream. But that wasn't the end of the challenges. A few weeks later, word spread about David's craftsmanship. Orders started pouring in from nearby towns and villages. Then came a huge opportunity. A businessman from the city placed an order for 10 dining tables to be delivered in just 1 month. In return, he offered a large payment. It was a big break, but also a huge challenge. Tight deadlines, high-quality wood, no extra workers, and a tiny workshop. It seemed nearly impossible. Still, David said yes. That night, he sat down to make a plan. If he worked non-stop from morning till night, it might just be doable. But he didn't have enough money for the wood. In the end, David decided to sell the last memory of his father. A gold watch. It had deep sentimental value. As he stood in the jewelry shop selling it, tears welled up in his eyes. But he knew it was just one more step. Sometimes, you have to take risks to achieve something big. With the money, he bought the best wood and worked day and night. He often skipped meals and barely slept. His hands were cracked. His head ached. But he didn't stop. Villagers said, "David, take a break. You'll get sick." But he didn't listen. In the final week, one of the tables kept breaking. Because of a flaw in the wood. That's when his mom walked into the shop. And saw David sitting with his head down. She said softly, "Son, take a rest. Life isn't just about chasing dreams. You have to take care of yourself, too." Through tears, David replied, "I just want to prove that I can do this." "Don't worry, Mom. We're going to come out of this poverty soon." She placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "You've already proven a lot. Your hard work, your patience. But remember, if your health breaks down, all this success will mean nothing." David sat in silence. Then he said quietly, "You're right, Mom. But I have to finish this job. If I do, it'll bring me so much closer to my dream. People will recognize me, and I'll earn a great reputation." She smiled and said, "I know how much your dream means to you. But let me tell you something. If you try to carry all the weight alone, you'll wear yourself out. Life isn't meant to be lived alone. Asking for help isn't weakness, it's smart. If you just ask your friends or neighbors for a little help, they won't say no. In fact, they'll be proud to stand by you." Those words hit David deep. The next day, for the first time, David asked the villagers for help. And they all came forward. Together, they finished the work. The rich businessman was extremely happy. And paid him just like he promised. With that money, David expanded his shop. Bought new tools. And even hired a few young men from the village to work with him. But the biggest thing he gained was the lesson that achieving your dream takes more than just hard work. Sometimes, it takes asking for help. And that's how you find balance in life. Did you enjoy the story? Let us know in the comments. If you want to hear more inspiring stories like this, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you in the next. In a quiet little town, lived a boy named Ayan. He was intelligent, but he was also impatient. Whenever he started something, he wanted results immediately. If he didn't succeed fast, he gave up. At school, Ayan often left his homework incomplete. He loved playing games more than studying. When his friends prepared for tests, Ayan would say, "What's the use? I can never be the best." Slowly, he lost confidence. His grades dropped, and he began to think he was a failure. His teachers noticed this change. But one teacher, Mr. Kareem, decided to guide him personally. One day, after class, Mr. Kareem called Ayan. He handed him a glass of water. "Ayan," he said gently, "how many drops do you think are in this glass?" Ayan frowned. "I don't know, maybe thousands." Mr. Kareem smiled. "Correct. But remember, This glass was not filled at once. It was filled drop by drop. Life works the same way. Success is not built in a single day, it grows with patience, effort, and time. Ayan stayed silent. For the first time, he began to think about his teacher's words. That night, Ayan lay awake in bed. He whispered to himself. One drop, one day, one ocean. He thought about his failures. Maybe it wasn't because he was weak. Maybe it was because he always gave up too soon. From the next morning, he decided to change. Instead of promising himself big achievements, he made a small rule. Just one drop, every day. He started waking up early. He studied for 1 hour. At first, it felt difficult. He wanted to quit. But then, he remembered his teacher's words. Weeks passed. Little by little, Ayan improved. His handwriting got better. He started remembering formulas that once seemed impossible. Still, there were moments when he lost hope. One day, after failing a math test, he sat alone near the river. He watched the tiny drops of water falling into the stream. Slowly, those drops merged, and became strong waves. Suddenly, it struck him. If drops can form a river, why can't my small efforts form my success? He smiled, and whispered again. One drop, one day, one ocean. Months passed. Ayan kept his promise to himself. He didn't change overnight. But step by step, he grew stronger. His classmates noticed his discipline. His friends asked, Ayan, how are you improving so much? He simply replied, I just add one drop, every day. Finally, exam season arrived. Ayan gave his best. He didn't expect miracles. But he knew he had worked consistently. When the results came, everyone was surprised. Ayan had scored among the top students. On result day, Mr. Karim walked up to Ayan with a proud smile. Do you see now, my boy? You built your own ocean. Not in a single day, but through every small drop of effort. Ayan's eyes filled with tears. He realized the greatest secret of life. Consistency is more powerful than talent. Patience is stronger than speed. Small steps create big journeys. From that day forward, Ayan carried this lesson in his heart. And whenever life felt heavy, he reminded himself. One drop, one day, one ocean. Friends, if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give this video a like. And for more motivational stories like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Share your thoughts and feedback in the comments. Your words give us the energy to create even more inspiring stories. See you in the next story. Until then, always remember. One drop, one day, one ocean.